Hello friends, welcome to Java EJB JPA tutorial. Now you are watching the part 3 of the JPA entity code subseries for merge method. Now we will apply the changes to bin layer. In the previous video we made the changes required for the HTML files. So these are all the slides from previous parts. First we learned about the merge method. Then we implemented the HTML form to perform fund transfer. Then we modified our home page. After that we modified the response.jsp file. Now to the bin method remote interface, if you see, we added two methods. One is find by ID, that's the interface method, which receives an account ID and scans the database, then returns saving account, the entity itself. So the entity is returned to the caller using this find by ID. Then there is one more method which we declare here, transfer fund. And if you see, it receives two saving account, from account and to account. Then what is the amount we want to transfer? So the transfer happens from account to account. Here withdraw will be performed. Here deposit will be performed. Account will be negated here. Here balance will be increased. So how much is decided by this amount. Next, if you see, find by ID, we are passing the PID. This is the implementation for this one. And we make use of EntityManager.find. Then we pass the PID, which is coming here as a parameter. So this will uniquely identify a record, because EntityManager will search for the record in the DB. And we know that the records are identified by the PID. PID is the key field. So for a provided key field, we may locate only one record and we will retrieve that record. So that we are storing here as a savings account and we return the same. So the saving account is returned to the caller. This is one implementation. And in the next implementation, if you see, we perform the transfer fund. So this is the method we are implementing. It returns none. And we receive two entities. One is the entity for from account. Another one is entity for the to account. Then the actual amount which we want to perform transaction in the sense the amount will be negated here in the from account and it will be added to the to account. So first thing what we are doing is we are making use of the EntityManager.merge. Then we are making call to AC1.withdraw account 1. So for the second account, once again we are making use of merge. Then we are making call to deposit. So here we are doing withdraw, here we are doing deposit. And if you see, the from account itself is an entity, and to the merge method we are supplying this incoming parameter, which is nothing but our savings account. And the merge method will return one more entity, AC1, and we perform our method call withdraw as well as deposit on the returned object, not on the incoming one. Alright, now let's state that the caller is supplying this savings account, right? The caller will make use of this find method. The find method returns, this is our find method, whatever we returned here. So this is method A called by servlet or JSP, whatever it is, and it returns a savings account. And in this stage, here we are using the find method, right? Find method em.find returning a saving account. Till this stage, it will be in the managed state. And once the method is returned from here, so if there is any pending transaction that needs to be committed, that will get committed on the managed entity. Here the entity is a saving account. So once it returns, when caller receives it, it will be in a unmanaged state, right? So this is the entity returned. It will have ID, whatever you supplied here. And the caller will then make use of method B. So it will find account 1 as well as account 2. This is a from account, and this one will be the to account. From account and to account. And when the caller making call to method B, which is nothing but a transfer fund, it will supply both the account AC1 and AC2. So AC1 and AC2 will be in unmanaged state. So here in the caller side, it is in unmanaged state, and when it got passed to the entity manager managed bean, inside the method also the instances from AC and to AC both will be in the unmanaged state. So that's why what we are doing here, em.merge, we are making call. So this will convert this from account. We cannot say convert. It will make use of this from account, performs a scan in the database. From account will have an ID, right? So we will fix a ID and we will get a record. Then if there is any change on this from account, or because it is returned to the caller, right? Caller can make changes also. So that's why when you perform merge, this is the database record, and let's say this is the account 1 we are merging, right? Let's say it is from AC, from account. So this field got changed. What happens, since it's a merge action, the entity returned, so this is the entity returned, this will get merged here. So whatever change applied here, that will get merged, and we will get it as AC1. So this is the one will get returned. This is from account, and this one is AC1. So that's how entity manager will perform. So entity manager performs a scan based on the ID. It will pick a record, it will retrieve the record, then it will perform copy of the fields, then it will give back to us. And once it comes to AC1 here, so from account is unmanaged, AC1 is managed. Why? Because it is matched against the database and retrieved using the merge method, almost kind of find. So internally it performs find and it retrieves. So AC1 will be in managed state, AC2 will be in managed state. So here we are making call to withdraw, right? We know that, so this is the amount we are passing. The withdraw method in our entity project will perform a negate. That means it will reduce the balance. Here the balance will get incremented. And we know that towards the end, the entity manager will perform the commit. So it will perform commit only for the managed instance. Here managed instance is AC1 and AC2. Amount, I mean the from account and to accounts are unmanaged instance. So in the previous transaction itself, it got unmanaged. It got to the client code. Client is resupplying it, and it will be still in unmanaged state. But merge method will perform a matching record and retrieves it, and the retrieved entity will be in the managed state, and we perform our field modification on the managed one. AC1 we are performing the state change. Here AC2 we are performing the state change. The state change will happen on the balance field, right? Here also it will get performed on the balance field. Here it will perform two updates. One is for AC1 and another one is for AC2. in AC1 the update will be like reducing the balance. In AC2 the update will be like incrementing the balance. So that way, in this two-step, we performed the fund transfer. Alright, now it's a demo time. We will go ahead and implement our bean layer changes. So this is our workspace. So first we should go to our bean layer EJB module and we'll go to our bean client. So stateful session bean, shopping cart remote, not this one. We should go for stateless bean, and this is where we are implementing our saving accounts. So previously we have these methods. This was implemented as part of our subseries 3 on entity, and this one was implemented when we are learning the CRUD operation in subseries 4, and in subseries 5 we know that we are exploring about the merge method. Now we have two bean method. One is a saving account, find by ID, and another one is a transfer fund. So here I'm choosing import tube coding examples, JPA entity, savings account. We will save this. So our next change will be in saving AC bean implementation file. Here we will place implementation for our two new methods, find by ID and transfer fund. Alright. So the code are already explained in the PowerPoint slide. So this is the only two change we want to make here in this video. Now our bean layer also completed. We already implemented HTML layer changes in the previous video. So we created fund transfer HTML, then we made some changes in the saving account homepage as well as the JSP file. So we don't need to test anything here. In the next video we will implement the form submission, then the servlet. The form will be submitted to the servlet. Fund transfer, if you see, it is submitting it to fund transfer. We will create this servlet. The servlet will talk to our stateless session bean to perform the fund transfer, and based on the return value, then it will communicate back the response to the browser using the saving account JSP. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.